I feel like that's kind of like the best part of what, or that's what the trick is when you see a sleight of hand move or a sleight of hand trick or whatever you want to call it. You know, you're fucking shaking your left hand so you can come in with the strong right, or be able to put whatever the hell behind your back or off the sides, wherever is away from the eyes. And I mean, in some aspects, it would make you feel like, well, fuck, I want to escape. I want to get out of here. I want to be a part of this process. Now, this process might be, world dominant as far as the land on Earth, and we're covered with what 80-70% of water. I mean, we're only 1/3 of land is, and everything else is fucking water. Like, that's a big fucking deal. Or is it three quarters? Yeah. Is the water magnitude that we're filled by. So imagine all the fucking secrets that are down there. And again, that's another topic for another day. And you figure in instead of trying to focus in on that, instead of trying to figure out what's in the world, what's in the water, how can we make some sort of maybe ecosystem out of that? Because you figure whatever the hell's down there gets to survive. So something has to keep it going. And I'm sure there is, and I can't wait till we can figure that out. And who knows if we ever find not Aquarius, but some kind of aqua world. And I forget the name that I ever heard before, but we're looking the opposite way, or instead of looking in, we're looking out. And they figured out through that Hubble telescope here, that big ass one that can see the furthest, strongest telescope there is, had noticed that there's actually 10 times more galaxies than we knew of before. And I know one of the bigger things, I think before there was like 2 million. Or, yeah, just 2 million or 2 billion, and then now there's like 200. So they'd actually, it was 2 trillion, it was 2 trillion, and now it's up to 2 billion. I was in the presumption actually that trillion was above billion. And actually, forgive me, no, it is 2 trillion, and before we thought that shit was about 2 billion. And that is mind-boggling in the sense that we really don't know what the hell's out there, and there has to be something chilling, or who. I'm curious as to how far out do we need to go until we can see intelligence, or be able to catch up with something. And for the most part, we probably just can't see them, can't hear them, because we're just not as advanced to it yet. We're probably still in the primal stages of shit. I mean, shit, we're still fighting over race, you know what I'm saying, and all this other bullshit. But that's not stopping private companies from investing into what we believe in the future is, being able to get the hell out of here. And there's already going to be space tourism. And they're saying this is possible as close as 2020. Now, there's 2 private space companies that say they're going to have commercial facilities available by 2020. One of them is called the Bigelow Aerospace, and Axiom Space. Announcement actually is where they released their intentions. It was called the International Symposium for Personal and Commercial Spaceflight. And that's where that Bigelow company had, gone in and showed little, habitat modules. And I mean, it's all starting from, privatized firms that pretty much are going to be helping NASA out, and so they can send their own astronauts out there. And it's kind of like being able to hitch a ride and, still go and explore, but kind of do it on someone else's dime, which they don't fucking mind because they need someone to fucking, take them out there. So there's a lot of interest, and by other governments, as well, looking for that same thing. I think it was 2001 when the first, rich cat had hitched a ride, and I forget where his name is, but more people like him are going out there and at least investing into what they, what drives them. His name is Dennis Tito, who knows? But apparently they stopped doing that kind of thing back in 2011. But it's a money field, and if you have people who are gonna pay thousands of dollars to go to fucking Africa to see Harambe and whatever poachers that are out there, then I mean, those motherfuckers have money, and they're going to the wrong, to the poorest places, and seeing how these fucking niggas live in natural oases, or whatever the hell. So I could just imagine, those same kind of folks who had the money and the, Skrilla to go up into space. The fact that we're already at the end of 2016, so we're literally maybe about 3 years away from this shit happening. Like, they already have modules that they're testing out. Like, we're at that stage. Like, I didn't even know people were going into and fro the, the moon or, into space. And we're talking about being able to fuck around in Mars. And a quick little side note, I was watching Storybots with the boys, and it was this dope-ass thing talking about the planets, and I totally forgot that we don't consider Pluto to be a planet anymore, so they're rapping, and they're talking about all the cool little features, one place having both volcanoes and ice, and, these are just that we know about, and, we're figuring out that there's 2 trillion galaxies out there. Like, the universe is so big, and at what point, at what juncture do you kind of cross paths into the, into something that's going to take you into the parallel, and, and you find something, in some, twacked out, alternate universe, and who knows the possibilities, that go within that. So the shit's just so much bigger, and it's shit's so big that you don't know where to start. And truly, just like charity, it should start in the home. Or at least that's a line that I heard in a Friday movie. But, that's where it starts. And it's kind of where you dig and where you build and where you start, recognizing. And, whether it's out in space or, in our deepest waters, which can consume us whole with no problem. I mean, we hope that whatever's down there, whatever's around can, if they're even bothering to listen, if they show some sort of, some sympathy and hopefully help us out or gear us towards the right space, and know that, that we're usually in a effed up, kind of sphere of our own selfishness that, we don't mean to be, or that we don't want to be. And there's those small moments of clarity where we hope that we can be forgiven, and, hope that, we can be spared, right? Or, or blessed, or allow that in which we create to hopefully obtain its blessing. If it's too late for me, then for the children.